Back, ladies and gentlemen, of course, here to our first quarterfinal matchup here for the UMG Prime $2,500 search and destroy only tournament. We've got West Coast going up against CatsCanClimb. As the team names obviously getting very interesting for tonight, as they usually are in the earlier rounds, but it seems that in the quarterfinals they're making their appearance. Of course, for Cats, we have TCM, Rallied, Dedo, and TwiZZ. And for the West Coast side, we have TTinyy, GloFrostyyy, BigBobbyJinx, and Cannify. Early on, BigBobbyJinx tries to make an interesting play by letting the enemy run past him, but unfortunately does not work out. And now Cannify and TTinyy finding themselves in a position to clutch. Of course, TTinyy for the side of West Coast, very known player when it comes to search and destroy alongside his brethren when it comes down to the West Coast side. But when we talk about the guys from CatsCanClimb, of course, you do possess 3 out of the 4 players who coming in to World War II are known as kind of prime variant players. Of course, you have Dedo and TwiZZ, who are kind of overall veterans of the scene and actually played back with each other. I actually saw them coming into this series. I saw Dedo tweeting out on Twitter how it was nice to be kind of reunited with his pal TwiZZ as they actually played on Team Envious back in MW3 with each other for, I believe it's actually the UMG Classic, funny enough. I've been doing some UMG trivia recently in my downtime, and just learned that information. So just kind of a little random tidbit for you. But yeah, obviously Arden Forest starts off round number 1, and it obviously is the side from CatsCanClimb who are able to find this one. I'm positive.
Well, you are the encyclopedia.
I'm positive about it. Get it, Paul? Like P-A-W, positive. I'm going to get as many cat puns in this series as possible. I hope you're ready for that, Jen.
I hope so. I hope we can have many puns and many horrible jokes that the stream can cringe of.
Yeah.
But yeah, already first round there for Cats can score, and now they'll be looking for Cats can plant at B, hopefully. I don't know. They're got first blood, so it's not really looking good. West Coast trying to retake over B-bomb site. Cannify is going to be over at the middle map. He's going to be finding TCM in that case. Still, huge number advantage there for West Coast, and things are evened up 1-1 apiece after West Coast gonna take their offensive, or no, sorry, the defensive round here.
Nice shots coming in here from GloFrostyyy, as he's able to obviously find this final kill, showing off some catitude instead of attitude.
Oh
there.
my god, that's the worst one.
It's pretty good, not gonna lie. All right, round 3 coming up, 2 puns down, and Cannify obviously already on a streak, very close to potentially that first fighter pilot, as his team now on the offensive and making his way toward the A side. Looks like on the other end though, TTinyy with that sniper rifle through mid, not an odd spot whatsoever, but just unfortunately doesn't get the greatest timing possible and isn't able to drop TwiZZ in that situation. And is now lining back up. 2 players fall. The nice little shot there coming in from BigBobbyJinx. As a nice play there, very cathletic, if you ask me.
Oh my god.
I'm awful. I apologize. I'm trying really hard.
Well, while we're joking around, what was really hilarious to watch is Rallied, before I say the other part, just kind of picks up the 2-piece just like that against 2 players from West Coast that were trying to push in through B. So making it look easy as CatsCanClimb pick up their second round, and they'll be back onto the offense, where 5-1 Rally's doing really great that round, along with Cannify on the other side. 2 players, however, from West Coast still don't have a kill, but we'll take a look at what Cats can do on to the offensive round. TTinyy's gonna be pushing up here towards B. TCM just watches him walk by and able to get that trade nonetheless. 3 versus 2 now, as they do lose a second player here. The offense still looking to push forward.
Indeed they do. Of course, a very early rush coming in from Rallied, feeling very confident, and obviously isn't able to find it, as now a 2 versus 3. Now turning into a 1v3 as Dedo lasts alive. And honestly, when it comes into Arden Forest, what you really rely on offense is, of course, those early smokes. Of course, trying to get some utilization inside of that mid-U area, and obviously did see a few smokes get tossed. We see Dedo go for the early rush, and it obviously isn't able to find it, but of course now with the round count being the way that it is, offense, like I said, major portion of this game tied as it currently seems, but we talk about outliers right now. TwiZZ, Dedo, both currently with 1 kill apiece right now. In the opposite end, you have TTinyy currently 0-4, definitely not having the greatest of starts, but of course that is the role that you get when it comes down to rocking that sniper rifle. As it looks like off the break, nearly spawning out TwiZZ again. I mean, TwiZZ in countless rounds, I think, so far has had a number of different opportunities where it could have been dropped at any moment, but GloFrostyyy this time, finding the first blood off the break, and with that man count advantage, we'll see what the offensive team can do here.
Yeah, Rallied tried to push really far forward and got caught between 2 players, and he's already in the West Coast spawn, so kind of a little bit of an overextension here from his part, so he's going to get first blooded. However, CatsCanClimb still defending the B-bomb site with 2 players stacked there. Dedo's able to pick up BigBobbyJinx from wherever he was, but now 3 versus 2. GloFrostyyy still having the bomb, but loses his teammate by his side. Cannify goes down, but TCM here into the enemy lines. I think WestCoast clearly aware of that, and they're still trying to commit towards B. Ooh. Keeping their eyes onto the middle map. Frostyy's able to find TCM, and still no bomb plant. He had 27 seconds remain. 2-2 apiece. This is an important round for either team.
Definitely is, and it looks like GloFrostyyy, along with finding this final kill, is able to drop it. So that's the ace, actually, here in round number 5. A big play coming in from this man, Frost. Actually, no, is it TTinyy? I could have sworn that was Frosty in that position. Am I blind? I guess so. I apologize about that. Vision just wasn't on point. I could have sworn that it was Frosty who's actually finding the last kill, but in the end, it's actually TTinyy. So along with finding at least 3 kills in that round, he does find the plant as well. So we can actually take a look quickly at Frosty's POV. I say, yeah, not far off streaks by any means. As on the opposite end now, of course, it is going to be the guys from CatsCanClimb on the offense as TCM. Great way to start off this round. A first blood is big on offense, and Rallied trying to go for the quick scope. Unfortunately, he's not going to be home, and Cannify evens things up now to a 3 versus 3. And it seems that that bomb could be making some progression out toward the opposite side. It seemed that they were going to be making their way toward B, but things have changed up. TTinyy is on the flank and causing some havoc, as TwiZZ is finally able to kind of break things up. Now a 2v2, TwiZZ and Dedo trying to join alongside each other, as TwiZZ essentially is kind of babysitting the bomb planter at this point. And trying to make their way here now back toward B. And that's going to be where Frosty's lingering. Dedo spots him out and now has a nade to greet him at the door. Is he able to find him? And at that moment, TwiZZ trying to get some shots on to Frosty, not able to make it work. Does get the assistance in the end there from Dedo. So 2v1 advantage, but just like that, flanks have been an issue for the guys on Cats. They're not watching their backside. And it looks like Cannify might have made his way through middle without Dedo spotting him. And Dedo getting ready to come around the corner here. Could be spotted out. Where's the fast reaction time? Cannify, thank you very, very much. Unfortunately for Dedo, no extra lives, no 9 lives. Cannify is there. Picks him back up. As now, if you're the guys on CatsCanClimb, you're trying to claw your way back into this map. And we'll see if they can do it.
Well, after 6 rounds, Cannify is also in the double numbers for the kills, and I think he came through either middle or cabin side, and although he does kind of leave his teammate astray at the B bomb and he did get picked, at least he picked up the 2 kills needed to secure his team the round. So 2-round advantage here for WestCoast. They'll be on to the offense, and we'll take a look at their perspective. They're heading towards this cabin A-bomb site, and nades being exchanged through middle. No signs of life there, but TCM will be pushed up at A and picks up the first blood here for his team.
He does, of course, shots going back and forth. TCM finding 2. Frosty trying to even out the man count, as he is able to at least find 1 for his troubles. Cannify is there, so now we find ourselves in the 2 versus 2, what seemed to be incredibly unlikely. Now it's the guys, of course, here from the side of WestCoast who could be back in this, and now Rallied and TCM making their way through Fire Alley. If you think about where the bomb is positioned at, Cannify is trying to clear this one out for his teammate. He's trying to be the kind of main scout to try to get the information done. You know, the A side is clear for the most part, but Cannify is not content with knowing that, as they're just trying to get some positioning done. Now coming through, Cannify still watching through mid-cave, spots out 1, and just like that, TCM 1v2 scenario. Trying to spot out 1, is able to make it work, so now a mono-e-mono situation. GloFrostyyy sitting inside of the bomb, of course, has the advantage of not having to do much to the objective, just defending it. TCM in the awkward position, though, has to find the final player and also has to get the defuse with only 18 seconds left. Things are starting to look dim. Things are starting to look unlikely. And TCM, who's already on a streak at this point, might not even try to go for the defuse. He doesn't have enough time, and along with it, doesn't want to sacrifice what kind of a streak that he's going on right now. And despite the fact that TCM will find that kill, a big 2v4 clutch comes in here in round number 7 for the guys, of course, here on WestCoast.
Well, to summarize a little bit, I think that was a very interesting position from Cannify to sit alongside Cave and wait for the push coming through mid, which is maybe something that CatsCanClimb did not expect. So in that 2 versus 2, they lose 1 player, leaving TCM all by himself, which you would think that most of the time when a bomb planter plants over at A, they stay within the vicinity. And, you know, you think that TCM would have spotted him go mid, but that player completely evaded him. and was like sitting on the bomb waiting for that player to check bomb, and unfortunately did not come up with the round win. But Rally's gonna have the bomb, trying to go towards A, and actually drops with it. TCM is there by his side to get the trade, but TTinyy is there as well. All kinds of battles going in, and after all is said and done, 1 versus 1, the great TwiZZ versus his TTinyy counterpart here, where 5-2, West Coast are in a very good position to move to the second map, where they almost spotted each other here, but both players really exploring the map to try and find each other. But it's CatsCanClimb, I believe, that are on the offense and still have to recover the bomb if they don't get the kill within 40 seconds.
Great TwiZZ, can he pull off a magic trick to bring this one back to a level playing field? Round number 8 currently underway, and 2 players to decide the fate of it. TTinyy, of course, if he does find this final kill, would be map number 1 in the books. And TwiZZ, like we said, just trying to force the round number 9, but can he pull off something majestic? He is able to do it, and drops TTinyy forward overall. Fantastic position coming in from TwiZZ to kind of count out the map, kind of cut the map into different pieces and try to realize where TTiny's position could be at. A perfect way to lock down the 1v1. Get it perfect. I don't know if you got that. Not sure if you got that, Jen. I'm proud of that one, too. I'm trying really hard, and it's just not working out. I think after this is all over, I was hoping that someone would kind of congratulate me on a, wonderful kind of streak of puns, but I think it's just going to be a kind of a compilation of just kind of overall awkwardness.
That was a very interesting round, and cats can also hide, apparently, but I think we've exhausted all the cat jokes. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I still got a few.
Okay, I'll let you keep going, but in the meantime, the offensive team here of West Coast only 1 round away to push into map 2, where or at least number advantage here for West Coast, but now have lost the objective they were trying to go for, as Cannify, looking for some shots on the rally, was able to escape here with his life in a 1 versus 2, very doable situation. Lots of time on the clock to explore how he's going to re-infiltrate B, where these players from West Coast now focusing on the objective, forcing Rally to engage. Spots this player of TTinyy onto the high ground, and now just trying to bait some shots out and see if he can engage a player here.
Yeah, Rally trying to pounce, and TTinyy kind of acting as an annoying flea, as we'll see if he can try to make anything happen. Of course, it's a 1v2 scenario. Awkward position to be in. And it looks like the time starts to wait out. Things become less and less likely, but shots coming in from either side. Rallied not able to make it work, as he will drop, and just like that, 9 rounds get played. And of course, a 6-3 victory here in the end from West Coast. We got to bring up, of course, through a lot of this match, the fact of the clutch ability coming in from the guys on West Coast, and also Cannify's performance. Of course, we're going to take a look here at the final scorecard. I mean, look how well this guy played throughout this entire game. At least, I think, was it like 15, if not 16 kills? I mean, just an utterly fantastic performance comes in from this man. He finishes off 16-5. I mean, that is the major difference maker when it comes down to this series. Of course, we see 11 kills for TCM. Rallied finishes off 6-7, but generally, I mean, it's 16-5 that makes the overall difference, of course, in the favor of West Coast. I mean, having a guy drop 10+ kills is obviously amazing, but when he's getting up to that 15-16 kill range, I mean, that overall decides the match quite a bit of the time, and I think he was the major difference maker when it came down to Armed Forest, along with, different rounds and whatnot. We talked about the 2v4 that obviously went their way. I mean, it was just different moments where it looked like the guys from CatsCanClimb, I mean, had some, decent positions. They were finding some first bloods, making their way to different sites, but generally, like I said, it was just the clutch factor and the overall, strong performance from Cannify that obviously made it go their way.
Yeah, I think we were a bit distracted by all her cat jokes, because cats can't win S&Ds so far anyway. And into map number 2, we go into London Docks, where it'll be CatsCanClimb. We'll be hosting that one. And 6-3, I mean, it's not the largest score lead, but still a significant difference between these two, where I thought, I was giving more the advantage to CatsCanClimb, having some old veterans on that squad. But there's a lot of S&D veterans on the side of West Coast that have proved me wrong there.
Absolutely. And I believe we also have the overall kind of map overlay here to kind of discuss how things obviously did line up, as we obviously have the nice little team logos off on the left. I know Jen can't see it yet, maybe. But
I'm going to turn the stream on.
Yep, the cat logo, of course, there for CatsCanClimb. Did have, a couple rounds where things were obviously going their way, but we talked about that 4-round swing, of course, starting from round 4 to round number 7, where the guys from West Coast definitely had the big advantage, to say the least. Kind of carried that overall momentum. When you got guys, like I said, like Cannify, BigBobbyJinx, GloFrostyyy, TTinyy, I mean, all these guys have obviously been playing search and destroy for a very long time and have a big skill ceiling when it comes down to that particular game mode. But now kind of focusing our attention toward London Docks. I mean, honestly, if you are the guys right now from CatsCanClimb, really you're just trying to stay positive. I mean, you're just trying to do your very best to try to bring yourself back into this game. So London Docks, of course, will be our final resting place potentially for this series. Of course, debating on the fact whether CatsCanClimb can try to bring themselves back into this series.
Oh, you missed the climb back into it.
I might have tried to get their way. They're trying to claw their way back into this series, essentially is what we're kind of discussing here. But question being, London Docks now. Will it be West Coast who finishes this one off in a 2-0 fashion? Ladies and gentlemen, of course, the UMG Prime at $25 search and destroy only, where we've got West Coast going up against CatsCanClimb. The cat puns were in full force when it came down to Arn Force, but will they be in some London Docks is, of course, the question of the chat's trying to get involved when it comes to the cat puns. It's obviously a great time. It's social media and cats. I mean, you can't really find a better mixture than that. But, of course, myself, Lando, joined alongside by Jen, a.k.a. Lemon Kiwi, for this map number 2. Jen, of course, we got to watch the guys from West Coast pretty much have a strong performance. I mean, in quotes, we can basically say that Cannify kind of took over that game, finished off with 16 kills to definitely give his team a big advantage in that map number 1. But of course, we talked about the difference between Arn Forest and London Docks. I mean, play totally different. The kind of weather, the temperature is much different, it seems like, with the, kind of this difference of coasting and, I don't know. It's London, it's Arden Forest. I mean, they look different, at least for the most part. And we'll see, of course, if that does play much of a factor when it comes to CatsCanClimb performance, as they currently possess a 2-1 advantage along with the bomb being planted. But if we know anything about GloFrostyyy, this guy can clutch some rounds out and can find kills in quick succession, as he's now trying to make the retake.
Well, West Coast started off hot. I mean, they had Cannify come through mid-map and get the first blood, and after all is said and done, CatsCanClimb planted the bomb and were able to set up successfully around it to defend it, and getting that last kill onto GloFrostyyy for this final kill cam here. But 2 kills for TCM and the great TwiZZ, and only 2 kills for Cannify and TTinyy that they share. So into the second round, West Coast will now be back onto the offense. We'll get their go at this London Docks, where I think we saw a joke in the chat about cats don't like water. Well, cats also don't like winter. They didn't really do too hot onto the Arden Forest, so maybe this will be a different story.
I mean, cats just totally succeed in any temperature, though. I think it's fair. Like, I mean, cats like the heat. I guess they like the heat, right?
Yeah, they always sit on vents and houses and stuff.
Is there like a warm temperature map on World War II?
No, not really. It's not like a desert map or anything.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they would really suck at the Cold War, that's for sure. Because, I mean, obviously. 3v3 right now. Of course, from the perspective of, looks like GloFrostyyy. Not exactly sure who that was. Might have been the Codcaster glitching. We apologize for that. But regardless, a 2 versus 2. Dedo, Kenneth, and Cannify, to be specific with the gamer tags, evening things out now. As the offensive team, though, does have the bomb in their possession. At the back of the map, Rallied getting tagged up through mid-statue. Doesn't have a teammate TwiZZ to join alongside of him, but can't disappear out of that particular situation. Now Rallied inside of mid is getting challenged, and also predicts BigBobbyJinx very, very well. Has to go for the quick reload, and also does have a timer on his side. This is Cannify who has to make the initial challenge, and also is able to find it. A beautiful shot coming in here from the man Cannify, as he just makes this one look easy. The FG42 shot coming out to play, as he made that one look perfect. Perfect. Get it? Perfect. Yeah.
Oh my god. Perfect.
Thank you, Jen.
But I just had to add emphasis. I have nothing. But CatsCanClimb will be back on the offense here for this third round, giving that bomb to Dedo. And now to move on to the top of the map and also check out this middle map, because this is where West Coast like to send Cannify for the first blood, which they got into the very first round, and they also have GloFrostyyy by the side for the trade. So Dedo, we'll keep an eye on. Hopefully he doesn't get picked into this sense, but knows there's players there, and like again, a very slow and methodical push, not really committed to either bomb site, as West Coast have some players also pushed up towards water, so this will be a really difficult rotation to say the least if they do decide to do so, where Dedo is getting the go-ahead from the great TwiZZ to see if they can push this cabin A site here.
So they can force the issue here, obviously, toward that side of 10 as these fights are consistently going down, and right now if you're the defensive team, you're pretty happy with this. You're happy with the fact that they are kind of taking so long to get that objective down, because they're going to start to feel the pressure, realizing that, hey, we've only got 30 seconds to either kill the entire enemy team or to get the bomb down, and we've really not made any progression on this map whatsoever. But of course, speaking of that, it looks like player number 1, player number 4, both TCM and Rallied, trying to force the issue when it comes down to B. As it looks like Dedo does have some free time to obviously get that bomb planted. But player number 5, Cannify, going through mid, does get dropped, and just like that, player number 7 equaling things out maybe as TTinyy and BigBobbyJinx combine for 2. But it's TwiZZ in the back lines who isn't able to drop either. Gets the snipe coming in from TTinyy, and it's Rallied to try to finish off the damage as we find ourselves in a 1v1 BigBobbyJinx versus Rallied. Who will lock this one down? Who can get the advantage? BigBobbyJinx coming around the corner, but Rallied will win this victory inside a coal room. I mean, it almost looked as the guys from West Coast were just going to break that one open. I mean, there was a moment where I believe it was TwiZZ or TwiZZ was kind of in that front side coal room, had the ability to take down 2 players, but it was TTinyy on the bottom side, kind of prones down and goes for the quick snipe. But in the end, does not go their way, as right now the CatsCanClimb definitely are doing so, trying to bring themselves back into this series. As they do currently possess, you know, obviously it's a small positive, but a round advantage at that is obviously nice to have. But at least off the break, TTinyy does have a nade to potentially greet someone with, but the shots will do the work necessary. As the first blood's found, the second one about to be as well, as BigBobbyJinx drops TCM. Third one dropped there, and now Rallied. Quick 1v4 spot. Very difficult position for this man to be in.
Yeah, that's a perfect B-bomb side break. They pushed somebody top, able to get the kill behind the guy that was sitting crazy. They were able to pick off whoever was mid and whoever was pushing up. So whatever West Coast were throwing at them, Cats were able to take it down, rally. Now the last one left, and whatever just happened there completely changed the tides 2-2. As in the last round, I thought, you know, Rally's position into the top building, he kind of let his teams out to dry where they were able to push through mid-street. But this is going to be an interesting series, to say the least, kind of back and forth. Even in that last S&D, that kind of went by really fast, in my opinion, 6-3. This one could be heading into that round 11 direction. That's a little bit of an early prediction, but CatsCanClimb will be back on the offense, giving Dedo the bomb, and now a different push, to say the least. They'll be heading towards A and usually rushing through B, even using smokes to make sure to clear the long range of sights and even the first blood, so a free bomb plant for them.
Yeah, and also coming into this round, you're speaking about Rallied, of course, had a strong performance, was finding himself in a 1v4 scenario where he wasn't able to earn streak. So definitely one negative that the CatsCanClimb squad are definitely kind of taking into this round. However, they feel the confidence. They're able to make their way easily toward the A site. They had the smokes along with the early kill to kind of free things up. As they've kind of walked into that bomb site, taking it over, and now are setting up camp as BigBobbyJinx now finding himself in a position to clutch 1v3 spot. You realize, of course, that bottom right corner, you know, fairly, you know, doing some work when it comes down to the overall numbers as far as the streaks are considered. So might be waiting to make a push happen. Not finding a whole lot of pressure right now, as it's going to be a difficult site to retake. Realizing that's the case, isn't going to try and challenge, and is going to at least maybe try to face off in a final gunfight. But all he's really worried about is just trying to hold on to those streaks. And while it isn't a whole lot of progression, it is some at the very least. So not trying to waste anything here for either side, but regardless, it is a 3-2 advantage right now, of course, here for the guys on CatsCanClimb. And on that, though, Rallied currently seeing an 8-4 double positive, as he's playing very solid, really. When it comes down to some London Docks, with TTinyy here off the break, has found a first blood already. Can he add toward that kill column? Can he add toward that stat? But it looks like his teammate Frosty is able to drop that. His back-to-back offensive rounds here. So both these teams preferring to go water side. It's been working out in their favor quite a bit of the time, but it looks like TCM finding himself on the flank. Great timing comes in from Cannify as 2 quick kills go their way. Just like that, the 4th one is found, and in just prime quick fashion, just like that, West Coast are able to even things up now at 3-3.
Well, this is a very successful round. Obviously, they got the first blood, able to get the bomb down, heading towards water, and West Coast losing too many members. That was CatsCanClimb losing too many members, and both these teams only finding success on their offensive round, so not really finding a strategy on how to retake bomb sites when the bomb is planted, or at least not to lose too many numbers early in the round to successfully defend the site. And look at that, smokes being thrown, I believe, from the defensive team, trying to stop CatsCanClimb in their tracks, and TCM goes down really early there. That's TTinyy pushing up aggressively towards water, but TwiZZ is there for the trade. Actually, Dedo picks up that kill. It's going to get pushed there from Jinx, who's going to go aggressively there for the kill. Dedo still able to pick it up. On the other side, Rally loses a gunfight to Frosty, and at the end of the day, 1 versus 2. However, Dedo has the bomb, but the knowledge is there from West Coast that the A bomb site plant is coming. But Dedo, that's not his what's in his mind right now.
Yeah, and Cannify's going to be there for the pickup, and it's just kind of been a matter of whenever West Coast are finding these kills, they're in quick succession. 2 players, 3 players are dropping in just a matter of moments. I think it's been difficult for the CatsCanClimb team to really bring themselves back into a round. I mean, you're kind of losing 2 to 3 members of a squad in just a matter of moments. It kind of totally destroys your overall setup and obviously kind of breaks things from within. So, I mean, a lot of these moments we've been seeing the guys from CatsCanClimb really in these kind of 1v2, 1v3 scenarios. As obviously in that last round didn't end up going their way, but at least here off the break, yet again some more presence being felt toward this A-bomb site. And it could be either toward the lack of sniper play, the realization that smokes are definitely kind of working out successfully, but it seems that on the offense, actually the sniper being brought up from TTinyy, that's kind of unorthodox. It's usually the defensive team who are bringing those down, as both Rallied and TTinyy doing work with it off the start. And Dedo, the nice jump shot onto the second, of course, sitting on those top boxes. Thought he might just find one, but finds both for his troubles. Painting a beautiful picture, as Dedo could say. It's quite literally a portrait, if he, say
What an artist.
What an artist he is.
Now it's both defensive round wins from either team. So now switching things up, a lot more aggressive pushes coming in from the defense. We even seen some sniper play onto the offense. So both these teams adapting and switching their strategy, trying to not be too predictable in the sense where bomb is still given to Dedo, but that nasty nade coming in from Frostyyy picks up Rally. A site will be the bomb to go to here for the offensive team, and smokes again being thrown around water to cut off these long ranges of sight, but a huge number advantage here for West Coast, 4-2, where they're controlling pretty much all of the middle map area, and Dedo and TwiZZ pretty separate in this sense. TwiZZ still in spawn, and Dedo pushed up towards past A, actually. And the last time Dedo did that, he got quite punished for it. Might as well focus on the objective and maybe force the other team to play time, but in that sense, after waiting too long, Dedo gets picked, leaves TwiZZ in the 1v4.
Yep, see what TwiZZ can try and duel, of course, his veteran comrade drops, and he will just shortly after. Of course, 5 rounds to 4 now in favor of the guys from West Coast, as we're able to witness here. BigBobbyJinx coming on the flank. Pretty easy kill to find, but yet again, first bloods have been a major story of this overall match up until this point. I know, at least for the side of West Coast, they've been having a lot of success when it comes down to those early kills. And of course, you take a look there at the scorecard. I believe that's what, 7 total first bloods out of 10 rounds of play, or 9 rounds of play technically, that they've been able to find those first bloods. I mean, that just is a major difference maker when it comes down to a series. I know there was a stat back in, I think it was like Call of Duty Ghost and Advanced Warfare that was always brought up in S&D, where it's like, the team who usually finds the first blood, I think like 75 to 80% of the time, usually wins the round in the end. And at least for now, it's not necessarily living up to it every single time, but it's definitely giving the team with that stats advantage the lead at the current moment. But a man down. CatsCanClimb trying to force the round 11, and it's definitely looking possible now. Keeping in mind the fact that Frostyyy is on a decent kind of streak, but he is quickly cut down. Back-to-back rounds following in the same position, and we will be seeing OT for map number 2 here on London Docks. CatsCanClimb bringing themselves back into this series. Of course, if they do win London Docks, they would be forcing that map number 3 onto St. Marie Dumas. And if West Coast obviously wins this round, that knocks out the Cats and obviously gives them the 2-0 sweep. As, yep, just call them Cats. I mean, hey, CatsCanClimb. It's a very, specific name, but hey, this is the Cats fan club.
Gotta be TTinyy.
Oh, that was good.
That one's an old one, but anyway, CatsCanClimb.
You're showing some
like
attitude. I like that. That's pretty good.
They're down in the series.
Are you
round
feline
11.
good? Are
oh
you?
My God,
Oh,
now I want to die. But anyway, 4 versus 4, and you can tell how important this round is for the CatsCanClimb. They're down in the series, and now they start off the first blood. That was TCM finding TTinyy through mid-map, and Dedo having the bomb is just going to be laying by stairs, knowing Cannify's around the corner, able to find it. Frostyy's on the other side of stairs, however, and knows information that Dedo's around the corner. But Dedo has his teammates by him, and just like that, the quick cleanup. CatsCanClimb stay alive in the series with the 6-5 round 11 win.
Yeah, a big overtime victory. The FGs toward that water side obviously favored them quite a bit, but like I said, I was kind of discussing throughout a lot of this match and kind of discussing the overall kind of first blood advantage for the guys on West Coast, as they possessed at least 7, I think, first bloods in this overall match. And escaping with only 4. The guys from CatsCanClimb obviously are able to win it regardless of that. And like I said, Jen, they obviously forced the map number 3 onto St. Marie du Mans. Of course, when it comes down to a map like that, we'll be able to witness it, I think, in every single series up to this point. We obviously discussed the numerous changes that were made, whether it's kind of more A-side heavy. It obviously is, kind of due to the spawn changes of what's kind of obviously gone on with that map in particular. But generally, when it comes down to both these teams, and when we talk about the guys from West Coast, typically all 4 of these guys are known to search and destroy players. When we obviously look at the guys from CatsCanClimb, they possess, of course, Rallied, who was known as a search and destroy star, kind of a search and destroy main player through a lot of his career up to this point. Of course, kind of heading into World War II is his first opportunity to really play hardcore respawn. But you got guys like Dedo, you got TwiZZ, you got TCM, all these guys who, of course, been playing Call of Duty for a very long time. Of course, Dedo and TwiZZ primarily. But you kind of got the younger, kind of new age guys kind of versus the old school guys. And I think, honestly, it's going to be really interesting to watch how St. Marie obviously plays off. Of course, it already being a map 3, it being a very high stakes match, but also the fact that it has had a lot of changes as of recent. And I think based on what we've seen so far, the A-bomb side can definitely feel a lot of pressure toward it. But, you also got to question. There's a lot of kind of questions going on right now. The factor of, if Cannify obviously goes off in a major way when it comes into map 1. Only, of course, between CatsCanClimb and West Coast. We're seeing a map number 3 here, of course, to propel yourself to that semifinal matchup. As I said, final resting place for this series. Winner moves on. Loser is eliminated. So, of course, a lot on the line. It's our best of 11 here as far as round count is considered. If you're new to Search and Destroy, does start to tick off. First bloods are nice. And BigBobbyJinx somehow is able to take out TCM. He literally played that one perfectly as the great TwiZZ now finding himself in a 1v4. Not the best of starts for him, along with the bomb being planted. BigBobbyJinx does have a decent advantage. Of course, TwiZZ is there to erase that, so at least not a whole lot is going to be escaped from this round. Of course, if it is the guys from West Coast who do close it out. Of course, the man who did find the kill along with the plant has already been dropped. So a little bit more peace of mind if you are from the Cats fan club. But TTinyy responding with some shots, Cannify as well. Nice little line sight from TwiZZ. You see him getting some hit markers, but in the end, it's not going to be a round that goes his way, as it will be the Cats fan club who walks down round 1.
Cats fan club. I'm already part of that.
I am too, actually.
We love cats here, but
that is a very detailed emblem for Cannify, by the way. That's intense.
Pretty nice.
Not sure what that is actually.
Frieza?
Huh?
Frieza? Like Dragon Ball?
Oh,
are we not looking at the same? Are we not looking at?
I never really watched Dragon Ball Z.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how it feels to be that uncultured, but
yeah, hey, it's unfortunate. But at least I was born in the USA, so I feel pretty confident.
Oh, okay. Okay, don't roast the Canadian.
Just casually roasting each other, it's whatever. No hate, obviously. Just kidding. I had to give a comeback, and it was just the only thing I could think of. Cat puns are the only thing that's going on in my mind.
Well, at least Cats can plan, and they got that down over at B. But now 4 versus 4, this is going to be a bloodfest, since CatsCanClimb really want to hold on to this B-bomb site and actually staying inside of it. But West Coast now going to flood all in, and trades going back and forth. One player that was TTinyy inside a restaurant, he trades in with TCM, and after that, Dedo is the last one left. And where is he? Already at the back of the spawn in a safer location. West Coast want to hunt down this last player, and poor Dedo is not able to do anything. And the quick defuse there for West Coast will make them go up 2 rounds here in this final map 3 S&D.
And this is also a big factor as well, because West Coast now have a guy, yet again, being Cannify, who's on a spree, right? He's already gotten 4 kills. He also finds a defuse. And like I said, he was the guy who in map 1 on Armed Forest really went off for them. He ended up finishing off with 16 kills in total. And if you let this guy go off, like we were kind of discussing heading this match, West Coast, maybe they're feeling the pressure of maybe, hey, if we don't have a guy like Cannify to go off for us, we can struggle. Where he's playing very, very well, of course, after the first 2 rounds of play. Not far off streak. We'll see if GloFrostyyy can drop one here through bottom red. As TTinyy, yet again, finding those sniper kills, those annoying sniper kills, of course, walking through that mid-map, having a lot to kind of look over. BigBobbyJinx on the flank. Rallied going to spot him out. No, the quicker shot is there. TTinyy ends up falling, but regardless, it's a man-count advantage right now for CatsCanClimb. And just like that, streaks have been earned. Dedo 1v3. Potentially looking down the barrel of a 3-0 deficit. And right now, if you're Cannify, honestly, you're just trying to, like I said, get the bomb down. Now he's got full streaks to work with. found that third and final one. And I believe, I want to say Cannify probably had the mortar strike, but regardless though, GloFrostyyy finds the final kill. And 3 quick rounds down the drain.
I feel like this has been maybe the second, or I want to say third round that Dedo is left in a 1 versus a lot of people, and he doesn't have any kills. I mean, he just had one there, and he's not really doing much for his team, kind of sticking in the back and at least not setting up for trades or responding to the information that he's getting, moving his positioning around. Like in that last round, he was nowhere near anybody. In the round before that, and his whole team read B, and he was in spawn. So kind of want to step up for the team and play more as a team, and TTinyy picks up Rally, just like that for the first blood there for West Coast, and 3-0 gives them a huge advantage already in this series, or in this map, to say the least. And Dedo will have the bomb heading towards A. They'll be met here by GloFrostyyy on the other side of the map. And also, not really anybody mid-map that could be crossing their path, but we'll be exchanging some lethal grenades first, while some kills might be exchanged here. But it looks like streaks are coming in from the side of West Coast, trying to get Dedo down, but able to escape into the building just on time. But Frostyyy able to move his position forward, so even get that kill into Dedo. And his teammates actually going to be focused on mid-map, so this is all Dedo's job to get this kill now.
Yeah, I mean, you're just seeing a lot of moments for the CatsCanClimb squad just have some, difficulties, right? They're finding themselves in positions where really it's kind of a 2-man job. I mean, we see Dedo kind of lingering inside a top office where he's got to focus on where to get the bomb planted. He's also trying to figure out, how do I escape out of top office? I mean, I literally have no teammate support to escape out of, certain positions, and I feel like it's really been relying on whether it's the first bloods, and they're obviously coming in from TTinyy. We talk about Cannify's performance, the fact that he's already on a nice streak. He's, like I said, speaking of those, he's already on a spree. Got full streaks to rock with, I believe. And, or he's actually only 50 points away, of course, from that artillery barrage. But, I mean, generally, when we're looking at this, I feel like the guys from CatsCanClimb are just having a number of different problems off the start that they just don't really know what to do. Because, like I said, TTinyy could be lingering through mid-street at any moment. You have Cannify, who's on streaks constantly. And these guys are going to take it out for first bloods. And we'll see if this can happen again. It looks like they have, for the most part, swapped to those mountain classes, but regardless, Cannify does get some assistance, so does earn the artillery barrage. 6-0, 9-0 combined between him and Frostyyy. As BigBobbyJinx finds one from the back. I mean, things are just starting to break apart right now for from CatsCanClimb. They need to get some positives, as BigBobbyJinx just destroys Rallied there inside a top post office. It's now going to be an awkward position for Dedo to try and clutch up here. And honestly, when it comes to Search and Destroy, of course, relies a lot off communication, off of chemistry. Both these teams really possess that. But if we're talking about the guys from CatsCanClimb, right? I mean, TCM and TwiZZ, they were on Rocket Esports just a few months ago. Of course, played at both NOLA and Dallas together. Both Rallied and Dedo, of course, played under Era at Dallas, and I believe under Rain for NOLA as well. So kind of 2 combinations of players. The chemistry is definitely there for the most part. You've got kind of 2 duos. They're just meeting up against some very, very solid Search and Destroy talent. And BigBobbyJinx does get taken down through that wall. Not enough time for Dedo to either finish off this kill and to go for the defuse. He's not able to finish off with either of those tasks. So looking at a 5-0 deficit, you've got streaks to worry about. You've obviously got BigBobbyJinx to worry about. You've got TTinyy with that sniper rifle. I mean, there's just a lot of negatives right now if your CatsCanClimb. I mean, just a lot that's kind of in their way to just even force a round 7.
Yeah, and the streak economy as well, using one streak out in the last 2 rounds to at least get a kill or switch the positioning around to get information, depending on at least what the classes are. Didn't get to see the streak go off, but TTinyy now will be in his field of vision where nades are being exchanged over at A, and they're quite aware that CatsCanClimb are going towards there. Dedo, who was down early in that round there, and drops the bomb for the offense, and more streaks coming in to try and completely clear A, forces Rally to actually push up and engage TTinyy, where TTinyy wins that gunfight. So leaving TwiZZ all by himself in 5 rounds, and now 6 rounds to nothing. This is cool. A huge turnaround from the round 11 win we saw from Cats last map.
And to me, it's a very surprising last round that we obviously end up witnessing there, because, I mean, if you're from the guys on CatsCanClimb, right, you're trying to bring yourself back into this match. You're right. You come into this offensive round being down 5-0, and they make their way toward the A bomb site. I mean, generally when there are streaks that you know have to be in the back pocket of at least one player, if not multiple, for the guys on West Coast, I mean, why are we going to the site where those streaks can be even more lethal? When we go to a bomb site where the glide bomb, the fighter pilot are much more effective, and it just kind of was very surprising to me. I know at least for the first maybe like 15 to 20 seconds, the guys from West Coast were kind of caught off guard because I think they were thinking to themselves, okay, they have to rush in the B bomb site. So I'm not sure if that was the guys from CatsCanClimb were just like, hey, maybe we get the bomb down quick. They're not going to be expecting us to kind of literally kind of show our cards to kind of output a very odd strat, one that's very risky. Obviously it could have worked out. There were different moments, but generally when he had that artillery barrage that's obviously already earned from Cannify, he finishes up this game 6-1, Frosty 4-1, BigBobbyJinx 9-4. When you have that artillery barrage, I mean, if you have any streak when it comes to this A-bomb site, that's why I think it's just so risky for them to make this push. It's just, I mean, at any moment, the fighter pilot can take out a first blood. A glide bomb can take out a player going for the bomb plant, and including that artillery barrage. I mean, that artillery barrage kind of provides while it is a circle, it's literally a line. I mean, it literally can kind of separate you from your teammates. That's what exactly happened in that last round. That artillery barrage comes through. There's 2 players alive. I mean, they're not anywhere near each other. They're trying to hold hands, and that kind of artillery barrage is a bunch of bombs that are kind of separating the two. And they find themselves out in awkward spots, and then, obviously we find ourselves where we do in a hot 6-0. But generally, it was just a very well-executed plays coming in from West Coast. They were finding the first bloods, and constantly, like I said, it was Cannify. It was BigBobbyJinx who were lingering around the map, just constantly picking up kills. We saw BigBobbyJinx having his shot was just on, I think it's fair to say, when it came down to St. Marie-du-Mont. And for CatsCanClimb, they were just finding themselves, like I said, in situations where they were doing 2-man jobs. Like it was Dedo in countless rounds who had the objective, who was trying to find kills while also trying to clear out a bomb site. And he's the guy with the objective. Like he shouldn't be having to do stuff like that. But due to them, like I said, not having the correct positioning, kind of getting caught off guard with TTiny's random kind of sniper play through mid-street, I mean, they just really couldn't catch a break. And I think it was just a matter of really West Coast, like I said, playing better in all aspects. But generally, it kind of came down to the initial fights, the initial kills, and the matter of Cannify playing smart to kind of earn those streaks, which obviously favored them very, very well throughout the latter part of this match. Like I said, kind of utilizing that streak economy in a very successful way, which grants them a hot 6-0 here in Map 3, one that, at least to me, was not expected whatsoever. After having an overtime game for Map 2, much different story when it comes into this final match. As like I said, West Coast move forward.
Yeah, I think in London Docks, I think the reason why I was so close is that Cats were able to play a lot more together and focus on one objective, while this map, I felt they were separating a lot more, and objective players, maybe that are not used to playing objective, were kind of overextending or kind of going in by themselves and getting picked in that case, or getting left in 1 versus 4s. So it's sort of disorganized play we saw from Cats, which is not at all what we've seen on London Docks in the second map, where they were able to make it that close of a game. So not sure if it's a reason of stamina or a little bit late into the night, or what happened into map 3 that caused the 6-0 to happen, because this was not really something we saw or thought was going to happen in this case. But they are going to move up, that's West Coast are going to move up in our map, or in our bracket, to face the winner of Prime Champs or Borders Down, which the bracket will be coming up in a sec. And I think now this is quarters, so every round, of course, matters. And we're getting a little bit close to money, where let us know your predictions in the chat of who you guys think will make it to the finals. Of course, some very known teams. Of course, we're looking out for Celium's team, maybe possibly making far into the bracket, and maybe some others.